Welcome to Manifest Anything You Can Imagine podcast, the podcast that empowers you to turn your dreams into reality using the law of attraction. I'm your host, Papi DiNuzzo, and together we'll dive into the mindset, strategies, and energy shifts you need to create the life you've always envisioned. Whether it's health, wealth, happiness, love, relationships, or spirituality. Inspired by my transformative book, Manifest Anything You Can Imagine, each episode brings you practical tools, inspiring stories, and bold insights to unlock your limitless potential. Get ready to manifest your greatness, and let's dive in.
Podcast disclosure. The following podcast is by DiNuzzo Private Wealth, Inc. DiNuzzo is for general informational purposes only. No portion of the podcast serves as the receipt of or as a substitute for personalized investment advice from DiNuzzo. Different types of investments involve varying degrees of risk, and it should not be assumed that future performance of any specific investment or investment strategy or any non-investment related or planning services, discussion, or content will be profitable, be suitable for your portfolio or individual situation, or prove successful. No portion of the podcast content should be construed by a client or prospective client as a guarantee that he or she will experience a certain level of results if DiNuzzo is engaged or continues to be engaged to provide investment advisory services. Namaste. This is Mikey, and I'd like to thank you for joining me today, along with manifestation mindset coach Papi DiNuzzo on the Manifest Anything You Can Imagine podcast. If you're a successful entrepreneur looking to take your business, life, health, wealth, love, and impact to the next level, the Papi Mindset Manifestation Mastermind or the Papi Mindset Manifestation Retreats may be just the answer and experience you have been looking for. This is where positive thoughts, emotions, and actions align with ancient wisdom within a tribe of purpose meets profit entrepreneurs who are dedicated to elevating their mindset, their energy, their results, and their fellow brothers and sisters in need. So if you're ready to manifest, grow, stretch, and really step into the next newer version of yourself, Papi's Mastermind and Retreats were created just for you. I also want to remind everybody about Papi's social media. If you're looking for like a continuous stream of positive energy, please make sure to join the millions that have joined on his TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and LinkedIn. So please go there, follow, like, and share, and tell everybody, because it really is it's an extremely positive experience to be there. So listen in. So thank you for that. And let's go to Papi now to set the table.
Mikey, thank you so much. Thank you for a wonderful kickoff for today's podcast. Thank you so much for all the wonderful work you do in front and behind the scenes. And thank you, Kim is mostly behind the scenes. She's in front a good bit, but on the podcast, she's the brains behind everything that we do. So thank you so much, Kim, for putting together another wonderful podcast for our brothers and sisters all across planet Earth today. It's just so invigorating, Mikey, to be able to do a podcast and just share this universal knowledge, this ancient wisdom. It's really ancient wisdom. There's been a number of our brothers and sisters who have come in contact with it. But no matter what, if we go back and take a look at Yeshua, Jesus, when he walked on earth numerous times, Buddha, Rami, just taking a look at any of the geniuses over time, Vishnu, Krishna, and it could even be down to modern entrepreneurs, 150 years ago, approximately Andrew Carnegie, Earl Nightingale, Bob Proctor, just all across the board, Napoleon Hill, Neville Goddard, Dolores Cannon. Just think, everybody's basically saying the same thing, that you have the power, that the kingdom lives within you, that you have the power within you to manifest anything you can imagine, to create anything you can imagine. And all I do, my fellow brothers and sisters, is, all I do is offer you suggestions. I'm just offering you these suggestions every time I come in contact with you. That's the overlay. I stay neutral as to everything. I stay neutral as to religion, politics, countries, basically anything that our fellow brothers and sisters like to argue over. I stay neutral to it. Papi loves you. I love everyone. I love everything. This is a message of love and light and truth and goodness. Love and light and truth and goodness. And those aren't casual words, my fellow brothers and sisters, for it's love over hate. It's light over darkness. It's truth over deception. And it's good over evil. This is all about awakening the untapped creative power that lives within you. I'm here to dust this off, to awaken it for a grand awakening and for a grand remembrance, to get you to remember, to get you to remember what's coded in your DNA. You are more glorious. You have more power. You have more energy. You have more ability, more capability than you could ever imagine. And that's what I'm here for, to wake this up inside of you, to wake this up inside of you. What a glorious, wonderful day. Namaste. Namaste, my wonderful, beautiful fellow brothers and sisters. Namaste. Namaste, Mikey. Namaste, Kim. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. The spirit in me greets the spirit in you. The spirit in me greets the spirit in you. There's no higher greeting that we can offer each other, my fellow brothers and sisters, for you have a perfect spirit within you. I didn't say okay. I didn't say above average. I didn't say really, really good. I didn't say excellent. Perfect. You have a perfect spirit within you. You possess perfect DNA within you. You possess, most importantly, a perfect spiritual spark. Your perfect spiritual spark is one in the same with the creator of all, with the source of this entire universe, with the creator of all. That is how you co-create. You put your hand in hand with source. This is how you are an extension of source energy, how you are an extension of the creator. I've talked to you before about U.S. Anderson wrote a wonderful book a half of a century ago called 3 Magic Words. And I only offer suggestions, my fellow brothers and sisters. This is all I do, is offer suggestions. I just ask you, you've been at this game of life for 20 years, 40 years, 60 years, 80 years or longer. And all I do is ask you to give yourself some very simple grades, just to grade yourself on how successful you are, how comfortable you are, how happy you are regarding your health, physical health, mental wellness. So regarding your health, your wealth, any and all things around money and wealth, assets, liabilities, however you want to look at it, your health, your wealth, your love, your happiness, your relationships, your experiences, your spirituality. I have multimillionaires, billionaires that I've talked to. Papi, I'm not happy with my grades. This isn't just all about money. When I talk about you living wealthy, you living richly, you living your best life, every one of these categories, it is all about mind, body, and spirit, my fellow brothers and sisters. They are all in harmony. It's all a seamless, symmetric universe, mind, body, and spirit. They're all part of exactly the ecosystem, all contained physically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, for you to move forward and improve. You came here to further express, expand, increase, and grow. I'm talking about the creative powers. I teach you regarding the powers of manifesting anything you can imagine. The biggest talks I give are manifesting law of attraction. What is it? The next level down is manifesting law of attraction, where we lift up the hood and look inside. How does it work? And then finally, where the rubber meets the road, manifesting the law of attraction. How do you do it? And we touch on all 3 of these topics throughout our podcast. And as Mikey said, on social media, we get tremendous feedback. And we also get tremendous feedback on our podcast. I tell you, my fellow brothers and sisters, do not overthink this. That's your conscious mind. Get it out of the way. Your conscious mind, I call it your stinking thinking. Dolores Cannon referred to it as Mr. Stupid, and I'll go with her definition. Get it out of the way. Open it up to what creates 95% of what you create in your life and what you want brought into your life through your subconscious mind, through that bowl I talk about on the bottom. The big round circle around your head, you're drawing it with your finger, a horizontal line through the middle, a C in the top half of that circle for conscious mind, an SC in the bottom half of that circle for subconscious mind, a little line going down to your body, a smaller circle for your body, just to be there for your body. Your body is an instrument of your mind. A line up on each side for arms and hands, a line going down on each side for legs and feet. That is your mind. It's an oversimplification, but this is so human beings can understand it. Your mind is your conscious mind working in harmony with your subconscious mind, working in harmony with your body. My fellow brothers and sisters, you won't manifest phrases, or everything that I do is to help you, give you teaching tools. Our brothers and sisters learn so many different ways. At the end of the day, everything that I do from all 360 degrees that I approach this, and that I approach this with love to help you from every direction, you will manifest what you are. You will manifest what you are, A-R-E. You will manifest your identity. You will manifest you. So I tell you to think about a 3D mirror here on earth. When you look in a mirror, that mirror is vertical in front of you, and it's showing you the image of your 3D house, of your 3D self. You're looking at the image of your 3D self. Now you can look into your eyes. Best way to look into your subconscious mind, look into your eyes. But right now, we're just making the point of a 3D image that you're seeing. I tell you to think about the horizontal line that I said in the top half of that circle that separates your conscious mind from your subconscious mind. And just think about everything down in that bowl, the bottom half of that circle. I refer to that as your bowl, your subconscious mind, your bowl, B-O-W-L. And think of everything in there. You, what you are, your identity, your thoughts, your feelings, your actions, and your words. My fellow brothers and sisters, that is what you will manifest into your life. Your thoughts, your feelings, your actions, your words. And I want you to stay in a high vibration. And I make these very simple concepts as much as I can. Think about your belt buckle. You're standing tall in the room, and your navel or your belt buckle, the midsection of your body. I want you vibrating somewhere between there and the top of your head. I want you in a high vibration. What did Buddha say? You'll become what you think. You attract what you feel, and you will create what you imagine. You will attract what you feel. This is Buddha, not Papi. And if you're vibrating consistently from the upper half of your body, I want you to think of it from there. That is what you attract into your life. Lower half of your body, fear, worry, doubt, anxiety, greed, jealousy, envy, anger, low vibrations, my fellow brothers and sisters. Have you ever heard the phrase misery loves company? You think you think misery is vibrating out of the upper half of your body or the lower half? Lower half of your body is a suffering vibration. It's a suffering vibration. The upper half of your body is a joyful vibration. It's joyful. And not to get into mathematics, but you could call it the weighted average. So think of these 4 letters floating around in the upper half of your body, in your torso area, your chest area, hopefully up towards the top of your head. The T's floating around all day long, the F, the A, the W, the T for thoughts. You keep your thoughts in a high vibration above your belt buckle, above the midsection of your body all day long. You keep your feelings up here. You keep your actions up here. And your words, my fellow brothers and sisters, are so powerful. Be extraordinarily careful. The words that come out of your mouth and the words that go into your ears. I cannot impress this on you. I cannot impress this on you anywhere near as powerful as it is. Your thoughts, your feelings, your actions, and your words. You have the ability, you have the same exact spiritual spark you've been given from Source to fold back in hand, and co-create with Source energy. So I mentioned a book by U.S. Anderson a moment ago I was leading up to, 3 magic words. And again, all I do is offer you suggestions, my fellow brothers and sisters. And this is not to still, Mr. Anderson is long gone. God bless him, lived a wonderful life, wanted to share with his fellow brothers and sisters the same exact thing that we're all talking about, that all these sages and all these brothers and sisters with ancient wisdom, this ancient wisdom, they were full of ancient Eastern wisdom as well. 3 magic words, not to steal with standard, last 3 words in the book, I am God. Not the God, not a God, I am. Two most powerful words that can ever come out of your mouth. God as in an extension of Source energy. My suggestion to you, my fellow brothers and sisters, is that nirvana, that heaven, that anything you want is not external to you. You don't need to go to any other external source to access it. It's been given to you inside of you. You have this power, this genius, this ability, everything. You are more powerful. You are more special. And I don't hand out participation trophies. You've heard me say that numerous times. I'm just telling you the way that it is, that if you so desire to put on your big boy pants, if you so desire to put on your big girl pants and step into yourself, You came here for a reason. You came here for a very specific reason. You came here for karmic lessons. You came here for lessons, contracts, soul contracts. You came here with a plan, my fellow brothers and sisters. And when you came here, you knew exactly what you wanted to accomplish. And that's what I'm here to help you accomplish it, to help you express, expand, increase, and grow. We get prepared, and then we walk through a veil of forgetfulness. The slate's wiped clean, as Dolores Cannon would state many times. If you knew the answers to the exam, it really wouldn't be an exam, now would it? Really wouldn't be an exam, now would it? So we come here with a clean slate. We come here with a clean slate, and you come here to further express, expand, increase, and grow, to accomplish your lessons, for you to further elevate and purify your spirit. Why did Buddha come to this plane, this density, this dimension over 500 times? He came here for most of those to further elevate and purify his spirit. That's what he came here for. That's why you're here. This is all about expression, expansion, and increase in growth, about moving forward, universal law of perpetual increase, universal law of perpetual transmutation. Perpetual transmutation, my fellow brothers and sisters, what can I tell you? You have a perfect spirit, perfect spiritual DNA, a perfect spiritual spark. You have free will. Free will is so special that you've been granted free will. We could talk all day long about how blessed we are, and we should be in thanks and appreciation and gratitude all day long for the free will we've been granted. You've also been given a gift to be able to manifest through the law of attraction, to manifest and create anything that you so desire. This is the gift you've been given. My fellow brothers and sisters, you've heard me say, Nikola Tesla stated over and over again, if you want to be successful and understand this planet Earth and understand this entire universe, you need to understand three things: energy, vibration, and frequency. You could be looking at steam. On the left-hand side, you could look towards your gaze right in front of you and look at water. You could turn your gaze to the right and look at ice. They're exactly the same thing. Exactly the same thing. The only thing that differentiates them is the level they're vibrating at. The level they're vibrating at. Our bodies are made up of trillions of atoms, trillions and trillions, and they are all 99.99999% empty. Nothing inside. It's what feels like matter is a more dense vibration. We live in a fractal, holographic, conscious simulation light matrix. This is a simulation we live in. It's something that only the creator of all, this is genius beyond genius beyond genius, how this was created, and is created for you to be able to manifest anything you could imagine. So I thank you so much, my fellow brothers and sisters, for joining us today. Namaste. The spirit in me greets the spirit in you. The spirit in me greets the spirit in you. And I'm going to congratulate you on the greatest day of your life. I want to thank you for sharing it with us. It can be no other way. There is no past. There is no future. Thinking of time from left to right in front of you is a linear process, is a linear thought process. That is not how the universe is organized. That's not how it was created. That's not how it's structured. If you want to think of it as stacked on top of each other, past, present, future, everything in the history of mankind, everything exists at this moment in time, more complex than our human minds could ever begin to imagine. So I want to thank you for going on this wonderful ride with us to further elevate and purify ourselves, elevate and purify our spirits, and take it to the next level. For you allowing universal light to be shined on you. My fellow brothers and sisters, your subconscious mind communicated with my subconscious mind. I made a decision long before you turned on our podcast today for Papi Mindset Coach that you were called to this. The glass of water that I'm holding out metaphorically, that our brothers and sisters in many cases realize that they're dying of thirst, and they are thirsting for this water, this ancient wisdom, this love and light and truth and goodness. So thank you so much for joining us today. Mikey, thank you so much for putting together such a wonderful show. And thank you also, Kim. This is super exciting. I love every show. I love the high vibration all around today. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Papi. That's a great introduction for today's show. And I know like you've been traveling a lot recently. You've been traveling internationally here in the United States. And what I find amazing is that you're talking to all these different people, but yet we're all searching for the same thing. And I think that says a lot about universe and what you're trying to do over here. And I think it's great. And recently you led a manifestation summit at PodFest 2026. Can you share that experience with us?
Yeah, Mike, you are so accurate, and it is so amazing. It doesn't matter where I'm in conversation with our fellow brothers and sisters. As we all know, with the wonders of modern technology, most of my communication is virtually. Again, I'm just one person, and we're communicating. We've actually sent some books. Nick, who's in our inner circle, so to speak, did a wonderful job. He found some contacts in Antarctica, and we sent some books to them as well to help them on their manifesting journey. But we're in regular communication with all 6 continents on planet Earth. And as you said, Mike, it never ceases to amaze me. And I'm always grateful for it. Our fellow brothers and sisters, it's very similar to the same conversation over and over. And again, it revolves around, Papi, can you help me manifest better health, better wealth, better love into my life? Right after that, a close second is happiness, relationships, experiences, and spirituality. But there's this yearning and thirst, Mikey. You're so correct. These conversations are so similar. I recently did something a little bit different. We had the Papi Mindset Manifestation Summit at PodFest in Orlando earlier this year. And it just came through for me. For those of you who follow me and know anything about my background, if you've read my book, if you've taken a look at any information, what's very important in life is to know your why, WHY. My why has an S at the end. It's a plural Y, whys. And my whys, WHYS, are my 2 grandmothers and my mother. They're all in a tie for number 1 in my life. My Italian grandma Rose, my Polish grandma Anna, and my mother Phyllis, the 3 greatest people, my muses, my heroes, for what they went through and the trials and tribulations that these women, and a lot of it, and we're not putting any negativity into it, but we're allowed to weigh and measure as human beings, just weighing and measuring the challenges that they have in our life. So it just came through. It's the largest public summit that I've done, and it just came through from the universe that I was going to have a maximum of 6 speakers, and it ended up that the other 5 speakers, Mikey, as you know, were all feminine. We're all women. And that was, I believe, directly in communication, honor from the universe, in honor of my grandmothers, and in honor of the divine feminine, which I'll talk about in a second. So I had five wonderful, powerful, successful, inspiring women presenters, speakers at the Papi Mindset Manifestation Summit in Orlando at PodFest. And it was just a wonderful, wonderful day. The entire day, Mikey, was so wonderful. And I like to remind our fellow sisters, Mikey, because in many cases, and this was the case of my grandmothers and my mother, we've seen it before, and we're not putting any negative energy into it, but we are allowed to weigh and measure where in cases or some or most in certain countries, our sisters are not on a level playing field. So putting this extra additional energy, as we're doing with the classes we teach in Africa and in India right now, into the divine feminine. And I'd like to remind all of our wonderful sisters on today's call, our wonderful sisters, I am so thankful, so appreciative, and so grateful for you. I'm so grateful. I thank you. The divine, I remind you, all of our wonderful women listening today, our wonderful sisters, you are sovereign, you are divine, you are feminine. You are the divine, sovereign femininity that is more powerful than I can ever express. Have given birth to everything. Going back to the perfect blend of God and Goddess at the creation of all, you have given birth to everything. And as I reminded you about Buddha recounting over 500 lives, my suggestion is that as you incarnated into this life as divine, sovereign feminine, we experience other experiences in previous life. This is all the largest learning experience to further elevate and purify our spirit, to come here to manage and direct energy, to clear karma and elevate and purify ourselves. And my suggestion to you, my fellow brothers and sisters, is that when we incarnate, We have probably, in pretty much every case, you've had an experience as a male and a female. We tend to gravitate towards one or the other. So our divine feminine has typically incarnated into divine sovereign feminine over and over and over again. So I remind our sisters, we never know what our karmic lesson is for this life. You did understand it before you came here. You picked your entry date, the date that you come here. You pre-picked your exit date. You pre-picked the method of your exit. So we should have a lot less worry and doubt and anxiety about this. My fellow brother says, you are so powerful. You knew all this. You picked all this. You elected all this. You decided this is why I came here. And I remind you, our divine sovereign feminine sisters, even if you don't have a child in this life, for example, some of you may have 1, 3, 5, or more children. You have given birth to children, potentially hundreds or thousands. And not just that, what you did in other dimensions, other densities, and other planes, giving birth to help build universes, to help build galaxies, to help build planets, to help build mountains, to help construct water, the creation. There is nothing like the creative vibration of a woman, nothing like the creative vibration of our divine, sovereign, feminine sisters. So I'm really focusing on this today, Mikey, because it was so strong at the summit. It was by no coincidence, again, that of the invitations that I put out, that they were snapped up almost immediately by 5 sovereign, divine, feminine beings who did a phenomenal job. They all have a very unique perspective. They delivered their zone of genius to the audience, and it was just such a wonderful day. I think of one thing, Mikey, I can mention just for the input. At the end, Chris and Nick, individually and collectively at one time or another, had told me, Papi, this will let you know, this is by far and away a record attendance for any first-year event at our summit that's ever been done in conjunction with our summit. And I think, Mikey, Chris started it around, I know well over a decade ago. I think maybe 12 years ago, maybe even longer. So in this decade-plus history, and this isn't about any type of narcissism or ego. This is just about to take a look at this glass of water that Papi Mindset Coach metaphorically held out and look who was attracted to this glass of water. Again, we didn't go to set any type of record. I didn't even know how well it went. I had no relative analysis to perform, but Chris was super excited as well as Nick was for the attendance and the positivity of the attendance. I think, Mikey, of one woman who came up to me, and she just had a certain look in her eyes. She had a certain wonderful vibration. She was one of the hundreds of attendees who stopped in, most of which were there all day. Some came for an hour or two. Some came for half a day. Again, PodFest was in its initial launch day. There was over 2,000 attendees at PodFest. So there was a lot of events competing for their attention. And there was a mother I spoke to, Mikey, and I was talking to her. She said just such a wonderful vibration. And as soon as I said hi to her, she just leaned in, and we just leaned right into a wonderful conversation. And I told her, I said, I'm so grateful. I want to thank you so much, Miss, for coming to our event today, to the summit. And I just curious, how has your experience been? She said, Papi, I never in a million years would have ever thought that I would ever be here today. And I'm able to stay for almost the full day, but I can't stay for the full day. I really wish I could. And I said, oh, what is it, sister, that you're unable to stay for the full day? She said, Papi, when I woke up this morning, I had no idea, no concept I was going to attend the Papi Manifestation Mindset Summit in Orlando. She said, I live about an hour away. I got up and something came to me through my social feed when I was looking at it. And it just told me there was something for me today. And she said, I saw something about your event. Didn't even know that much about it. Just saw the name. And I just said, I'm going to this. I'm supposed to be here. Now, she said, the thing about it is, Papi, this was before I even started getting my 2 children ready for school in the morning. So this is a mother of 2 who made a decision. And again, my brother says this was her subconscious mind that I'm communicating with, my subconscious mind to her subconscious mind. So she said, Papi, I drove my kids to school. I dropped them off. Then I drove, depending on traffic, it's 45 minutes to an hour drive to get here. I drove straight here. And she said, I am so grateful that I came to this today. This is the greatest thing I love this. I'm so energized. It's just the greatest day. I want to thank you so much. I could not have made a better decision on how to spend my day. And even though she said I rushed around like crazy, she had a 45-minute hour drive, and that's why she had to get back before the end of the day to pick up her kids from school. I met another woman, Mikey, who was a physician, and she was here for another event. As I said, PodFest does a phenomenal job. Chris and Nick just do a phenomenal job with PodFest. It's arguably the largest podcasters convention in the United States. Over 2,000 podcasters plus attend this event. And it was a physician, and I was talking to her after a break, and I just asked her, I said, "Sister, how's your day going?" It was early in the morning still. We had one or two events. I had kicked things off. We had one or two speakers and interacting during breaks with conversations. And she said, "Papi, I came here to PodFest, and I signed up for an all-day event in one of the other rooms." And she said, "When I was walking down the hallway, something just called me, just told me to walk in." Or she, "Papi, I had no idea what's going on in this room." And we had a large ballroom. It was a very nice large room, a nice area outside. That Mikey, you did a great job outside meeting and greeting with you and Coop. So I want to thank you again for that. You and Coop helped to make it such a special day. So thank you so much. And when I was talking to this physician, she said, "Papi, I just called into the room." And I said, "Well, how's it going, sister?" She says, I'm signed up for this other event down the hallway. And she flew in to, or at least drove a few hours to attend that event. And she says, "I was called into this room and I just can't leave." And Mikey, at the end of the day, approximately 8 hours later, she was still there. She stayed for the entire event. She says, "Papi, I just love this message. I love everything I'm hearing. I feel so good being here. I just can't leave the room." She stayed the entire day. So I could go through Mikey's story after story. And again, predominantly divine sovereign feminine who I was interacting with, who felt so positive about this. And as Chris had told me, he said, "Papi, I want to thank you. Not only your event," he said, "your energy that was created in the Papi Mindset Coach event was not just limited to that room, but spilled over to a lot of other attendees at the PodFest conference." So just a wonderful day. And again, I just love giving our audience, Mikey, some real life examples of this in play with our fellow brothers and sisters. You'll become what you think. You attract what you feel. You'll create what you imagine. That emotion, that vibration coming out of that room before, during, and after was so strong. Fellow sisters were drawn to this from hours away, from an hour away, completely changed their schedule for the day, stayed the entire day when they thought they were going to come in maybe for a cup of coffee, spend 4, 6, 8 hours with us. So this is just the power of our subconscious mind, access to all knowledge and all power of all time. So thank you, Mikey, for letting me go a little bit long and sharing that wonderful story.
No, thank you, and I wanna thank you for also letting me be a part of that. That was really exciting, and it was just so neat to be there and to see you in action, so to speak. But I also just wanted to piggyback on that, like, like, the joke is, everybody has a podcast nowadays, like, whoever you are, from true crime to gardening. So there was this room just full of all of these podcasters doing anything from true crime, gardening, whatever you could think of, entrepreneurs, and Pappy's room was kind of in the center. These people from all walks of life, just going back to what I said earlier, they were all drawn into this room. Like, something from, no matter what their interests were drawn into this room to listen to Pappy's positive message. So that's just telling you that we're all searching for the same thing, and it's just
Yes.
great. Like Pappy always jokes, some people come up to him and say, "Oh, we're so happy you're alive." Yeah, we are happy you're alive because we're all searching for something, and you're the person that's going to give us that message. So it was just really awesome to be a part of that. And anyway, so speaking of positive messages, Pappy loves to give positive messages, and he likes to remind us all that repetition is our key to manifesting to success. And like I said, with all the negativity around us, he just wants to provide you with a positive message every week. So please make sure that you sign up for his free weekly email with his concepts to live by. And which one are you sharing with us today, Pappy?
Sure. Thank you so much, Mikey. And then again, for reaching out, my fellow brothers and sisters, my book, Manifest Anything You Can Imagine, of course, is at the heart and soul of everything. It's a physical book as well as an audio book. And my teaching, I say, read my book, read it every day, at least one page every day. Bob Proctor read at least one page of Think and Grow Rich every day for 60 plus consecutive years. So again, I thank Andrew Carnegie, Napoleon Hill for the great work that they did on Think and Grow Rich. This is for the last 100 years plus. It's still going strong. Manifest anything you can imagine is for the next 100 plus years. This torch has been handed off. It was what my suggestion is to you, my fellow brothers and sisters. So you've got this message available in my book, Manifest Anything You Can Imagine, the audio book. A lot of our brothers and sisters love that. It's available, as Mikey said, to join our email list. We're sending out weekly information. Again, I attempt to be a walking, talking pep talk, PEP, pep talk, as in positive. We send out concepts to live by every week. We have the podcasts, which were available, of course, at no cost to listen to them. And my fellow brothers and sisters, I get so many positive comments from the podcast and so many positive comments. Again, I want to thank you, Kim, because you're the heart and soul, the brains behind everything, for the positive comments that we get, the compliments. So thank you, Kim, and positive comments on you as well, Mikey, for the interaction you and I have back and forth, and for all the value you deliver, your divine feminine, your sovereign divine feminine value that you deliver to our brothers and sisters. And just listen, even to a podcast, my fellow brothers and sisters, listen to it in the background. Listen to this in the background. You could be cooking dinner. You could be doing laundry, folding clothes. You could be driving on your way to work, driving to pick your children up. We get a lot of compliments of parents driving with this playing in the background and not making a big deal about it when they're driving their children to school or picking them up from school. Let your subconscious mind take in this information. My fellow brothers and sisters, one of the biggest challenges we have is the negative information is coming at you all day long. And I teach, you're canceling or rejecting, you're saying no or nope, refusing to participate. Again, we don't put any energy into it. Remember, I told you the words coming out of your mouth and or the words coming into your ears, you need to protect yourself. These are auto suggestions, the most powerful force on earth. Auto suggestions from yourself to yourself, and or whatever you let your subconscious mind hear. You are the king, as I said. You are the queen, as I said earlier. Big boy pants, your big girl pants. If you let your subconscious mind hear something, it says you're the queen. The queen said this is what she wants to take action on. She didn't say no or nope. She didn't cancel or reject it. She's down with this. She wants this to happen. Trillions of cells, get working on it. Start working with the ether all around us. Start directing this energy. Start making it happen. My fellow brothers and sisters, it's available in my book form. It's available on the podcast. It's available in these concepts to live by. And also my 28-day Manifesting Accelerator online coaching course. And I'm working on a concept called Papi in your pocket that I could be available 24/7. So stay tuned for that, Mikey. That's my latest manifestation that I'm working on. Just had a conversation with a gentleman yesterday regarding that. So we're trying to make that happen. And then one recent concept to live by that Kim sent out to our email list, I'll just go with one word, Mikey, because I've gone a little bit long in a couple of podcast segments today, is manifest. We can't have a more powerful word. And again, my brothers and sisters, I start off when we hear the word manifest, as in manifesting law of attraction, but manifest is just a fancy word for creating. Creating is a lot easier, I think, to take in and to get our minds around. You came here, you've got the ability, I mentioned to you numerous times on today's podcast, to manifest, to create anything you can imagine. So manifest, and I've explained it a few different ways this morning on our podcast, but just to take it in, my fellow brothers and sisters, I ask you to follow me until you find one of two things not to be true. Either Papi doesn't know what he's talking about or Papi's lying to you. You will never find either of those to be true. I was sent here. I came here to deliver this message to you. It's what I've dedicated the rest of my life to. And I ask of you, open up your subconscious mind, quiet your mind, get away from all screens, your cell phone, your laptop, your desktop, your television. Just get yourself in peace. Don't even worry about any kind of fancy meditation. Just sit with yourself. Just immerse yourself. Quiet your mind. Don't worry about fancy manifesting techniques or meditation. Just quiet your mind. Concentrate on your breath. Quiet everything down. These downloads are coming down into you and through you 24/7 all day long. Open up to the messages that are being sent to you. Messages being sent to your subconscious mind. You have access to all knowledge and all power of all time. It is the correct, best advice every single time. Turn left here. Don't turn right. Take this new job. Here, don't take the other job. Ask for the promotion. You deserve it. Date this person. Don't date the other person. You're being given from numerous sources from on high, all of pure love and light and truth and goodness. The greatest advice all day long. There's an army of support around you. I talk about that in other shows. So, my fellow brothers and sisters, manifest. You have the ability within you to manifest anything you could imagine. Thank you, Mikey.
Thank you. And manifest is a big concept, so thanks for simplifying that for us. And that's what a great coach does is they put things in terms that we can all understand and put into practice. And Papi has a manifesting the law of attraction coaching tip for us. Papi?
Yes, thank you, Mikey. And I appreciate your patience. And Mikey is very fluid. So I appreciate your fluidity on the show, on the podcast, because I tend to bounce around and or answer things in different orders. But the next one, Mikey, as you said, the manifest coaching tip, I sort of went into that heavy on some of the previous questions you were asking. So I'll keep this one briefer. But the manifesting coaching tip, my brothers and sisters, and especially today's show is really has focused on the power of sovereign divine femininity. So this power of the sovereign divine femininity and manifesting, my fellow sisters, you're at the heart and soul. You're the glue holding this entire thing together. You're you're the source. Nothing can be given birth to without you. Nothing. You're the creator of creators. You're the center of creation. Never, ever underestimate this most powerful gift you've been given of women's intuition. You are just naturally, thank goodness, better at communicating and understanding and listening and reading your subconscious mind. The layperson's phrase is women's intuition. This is you accessing divine knowledge, divine wisdom that's within your subconscious mind. So I ask you, my fellow sisters, I love you more than you could ever imagine. Lean into your women's intuition. Pay attention to it. Have confidence in yourself. What is coming to you from your subconscious mind is 100% the greatest, best, most accurate advice every single time you can ever imagine. We had so many powerful stories today. But stories are powerful. But when dealing with trials and tribulations, don't overdo it. One thing with our fellow sisters, if I could just make a casual observation, Mikey, would be, since you do have the divine sovereign femininity inside of you, and you are more emotionally connected on average than your male counterparts, that sometimes our fellow sisters may engage in something, maybe like overdoing it, getting too emotionally involved. Don't be too hard on yourself. Don't be too hard on yourself. We're all going through trials and tribulations. Don't be too hard on yourself. As I've stated before, when anything comes into your life that humans would call a problem or a challenge or an obstacle, I want you, my fellow sisters, to say, that's great. That's great. Because you know, as Papi's coached you up to within every problem or challenge is the answer to that problem or challenge. That's the way the universe works. We human beings need nudged. That's just the way it is. And we're nudged by placing source placing problems and challenges in front of us. And when you take your time, you don't get over emotionally reactive to this problem or challenge, what humans will call when it comes into your life. Take a moment, sleep on it, look at it the next day. It won't take real long if you unwrap this in a neutral emotional state. Take your time and unwrap it. You're going to find a gold nugget inside of that problem or challenge, a gold nugget. How happy would you be to find a 24-karat gold nugget anywhere, every time? And better than that gold nugget, occasionally, you're going to find a large diamond the size of that gold nugget. That diamond is your quantum leap forward. You listen to Papi and work with me, get on this frequency. I'm going to help you improve and improve. You're going to gather gold nuggets. After gold nuggets, you're going to advance and advance and advance. You're going to purify and elevate your spirit. You're going to be happier with your grades in health, wealth, and love, happiness, relationships, experiences, and spirituality. You're going to be happier, and then you're going to have a quantum leap, my fellow brothers and sisters. What's more exciting than that? You're going to improve, but then you're going to have a quantum leap of improvement. Quantum leap. My fellow brothers and sisters, I want to thank you so much. And just reminding our wonderful sisters, it's a perfect blend. Universal law of gender, entire universe is structured under a perfect blend of masculine and feminine. Perfect blend, 50-50. Take a look at it everywhere. It's all around us, this perfect blend. And you, my fellow sisters, are responsible for the creation of everything. And I want to thank you so much. Thank you, Mikey.
I love that. I love thinking that your intuition is just a little nudge. Oh, we don't have to overthink it. Just listen to what the universe is trying to tell you. And then also, I love, like, I could just picture it instead of like a trail of breadcrumbs, it's like a little trail of gold nuggets leading you exactly to where you need to be. So, I mean, who wouldn't rather have gold nuggets than breadcrumbs? So just follow that path. And
Yes.
Happy, you're always talking about the two most important words, I am. And I know that whatever you put after those two words are just so powerful. So when you do your affirmations, you always start with the capital letters I am. I am so happy and grateful now that. And which one are you sharing with us today?
Yes. Thank you, Mikey. And I teach, and not that there could not be other techniques, but again, my fellow brothers and sisters, I'm trying to make this as straightforward as possible for you to teach you how to manifest through the law of attraction, to manifest anything you can imagine. Affirmations, intentions, and prayers, they're all virtually the same thing. You're thinking a thought, a very specific thought, and you're applying emotion to it and words. And as Mikey said, these words are so powerful. I teach you the two most powerful words you can ever speak. I am, and I capitalize capital A, capital M. I am. My fellow brothers says, be extraordinarily careful about the next word that comes out of your mouth. Not ever, I am stupid, I am dumb, I am no good, I am never going to amount to everything. Never, ever, 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 never do that. So I teach my affirmations. I am so happy and grateful now. So I'm embedding the two most powerful words in the universe. I am. I'm embedding the emotions. We've talked about how important high vibration, high frequency is, and I'm embedding gratitude in this affirmation. Gratitude, and especially giving gratitude in advance. My fellow brothers and sisters, gratitude is a golden pass. It's a get out of jail free card. It's the secret sauce. Gratitude vibrates. I remember how happy I was, Mikey, when I learned years and years and years ago that gratitude vibrates at exactly the same level as abundance. Whatever you're giving gratitude for, my fellow brothers and sisters, with a humble and genuine heart, in pure authenticity, what you're giving gratitude at that level for is vibrating out. And I talk about that boomerang, your launch point from the upper half of your body where you're vibrating from. Your launch point in that boomerang is going to come back to you at that high level, which you're giving abundance for. So I am so happy and grateful now. Now is equally important. As I said earlier in the podcast, there's no past, there's no future, there is only the present. So the affirmation we picked out for today, I am so happy and grateful now that as I receive my own, as it comes to me, I am always performing efficient, inspired, joyful action, and my activity always consists of me more than filling my present place. My fellow brothers and sisters, with a focus in the affirmation for today, I try to make up acronyms to help you remember some of these basic concepts. I talked earlier about TFAW, TFAW. Think of it as four capital letters: thoughts, feelings, actions, and words. And at the heart and soul of our affirmation today, of my affirmation I'm sharing with you, I'm always performing efficient, inspired, joyful action. And my activity always consists of me more than filling my present place. I'm so happy and grateful. On these affirmations, my fellow brothers and sisters, I have pages and pages and pages of them in the back of my book, Manifesting You Can Imagine. And I just have them there. I think you'll love a lot of them. But more importantly, I want to stimulate you to create your own. Customize this for you and your life and what's important to you. So thank you, Mikey, for a wonderful affirmation today.
Thank you. Pappy, some of our listeners have questions, and if you have a question for Pappy, you can submit it to the website by clicking on the Ask Pappy link at the top. And today's manifesting question is, what mindset practices do you recommend for entrepreneurs in today's fast changing environment?
Yes, Mike, you entrepreneurs, and I do coach a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of successful entrepreneurs. And we need to be careful, Mikey, because at the very top of this mountain, so to speak, or at the initial fork in the road, is what are goals for? A lot of entrepreneurs are very successful because they're very good at achieving goals, very good at setting goals and achieving them. And when someone comes to me for manifesting, my interest is my fellow brothers and sisters, Mikey, as you know, in the masterminds that I do, retreats, successful entrepreneurs who are successful, of course, and they have a profit in their business. They're profitable or very profitable, but merging that profit with purpose, bringing those together to pay forward and to deliver impact to our fellow brothers and sisters. As you know, Mikey, my target audience is the 4 billion. That's what B as in Bravo, the 4 billion plus of our fellow brothers and sisters living off less than $5 per day. That's my target audience. And I reach out to successful entrepreneurs. Would you like to help me, brother? Would you like to help me, sister? In serving our fellow brothers and sisters in need, one way, shape, or form. We all have a gift. Every one of you has a special gift, my brothers and sisters. So entrepreneurs, part of what makes them successful is their hard chargers, a lot of type A personalities, a lot of hard chargers. But at that initial fork in the road is extraordinarily important, my fellow brothers and sisters, that you understand, you get to understand that goals are not to get, goals are to grow. Goals are to grow. I can't work with anyone in the right vibration with them, the right frequency, if they want to manifest anything they can imagine and all their goals are just to get. I show my age sometimes, Mikey, but I remember the Scrooge McDuck cartoon I talk about with Scrooge McDuck is in the basement, sort of metaphorically swimming in his gold coins. There's a basement full of gold coins, and he's keeping them all to himself, and he's not thinking about sharing anything with anybody else. That's the exact opposite. The exact opposite of concepts. So goals are to grow. GROW. Goals are to grow, not to get. So I get back, Mikey, I try to get back to the basics, to the basic blocking and tackling, so to speak, all the time. So the mindset practices, because Mikey, if our fellow brothers and sisters, especially our fellow brothers and sisters are entrepreneurs, and again, many times to those who much has been given, much is asked. Would you like to, if you've been given extraordinary gifts, extraordinary talents, extraordinary situations, would you like to pay that forward and help your fellow brothers and sisters? This isn't out of guilt or anything. This is out of love. The most important universal law is the universal law of love. It's the only law that fulfills all other laws. The only law that fulfills all the laws. So the mindset practice, I recommend to entrepreneurs. I spent a lot of time at this first fork in the road, Mikey, working with them on initiating, on imagination, on ideation, on thoughts for goals to grow, not goals to get. So I would just like to leave that thought in our audience's mind, Mikey, because that one is so important. And if our fellow brothers and sisters get on the wrong highway, if they take the grow highway, it's a completely different outcome. So my fellow brothers and sisters, you can have anything that you so desire in life. If you deliver $1 billion in value to your fellow brothers and sisters, you're going to have $1 billion coming in versus your goal is just to have $1 billion of gold coins in your basement with Scrooge McDuck. That's not the way we want to go. And these are just my suggestions to you. I offer them to you with love. So thank you, Mikey, for sharing a wonderful question from our audience.
Yeah, it's a great question and a great answer. Papi's book, Manifest Anything You Can Imagine, is also full of great answers as well. And the book is available either on audio version or you could get a physical copy of it. And a lot of times, some of the answers you're seeking are just right there on the first page of each chapter in the wonderful quotes that Papi has for us. Which quotes we have lined up today, Papi?
Yes, in my book, My Brothers and Sisters, Manifesting You Can Imagine. If you don't have time to read the book, I suggest just read a quote. There's 2 or 3 quotes at the beginning of every chapter. Just read one quote from the beginning of every chapter. If you can, read all 2 or 3. It will not take you that long. They're so energizing. Quotes from myself and from the masters, from other members from the Ancient Ascended Master Council, from the Council Table of Humanity, from wonderful, wonderful beings, from pure love and light and truth and goodness, from wonderful fellow brothers and sisters of ours who have shared this wonderful ancient wisdom with us. My quote from Manifest Anything You Can Imagine that I'd love to share today from chapter 10. Your habits will make you or break you. As in this universe, it's always only you versus you. You are your only problem and you are your only solution. All you have is today. There is no past. There is no future. All you have is the present. Cherish it. Always think and act in the present. Universal intelligence and source only operate, work, and communicate in the present. Papi, DiNuzzo. So these, as you said, Mikey, these quotes are just so powerful. Habits. And I just reiterate just a couple key elements in this quote, Mikey. Habits. This is about my fellow brothers and sisters. Repetition, 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 the mother of skill. If you've been receiving negative information, have not been canceling or rejecting for years and years or decades and decades, if you've had hundreds of thousands of negative suggestions or millions of negative suggestions, yes, you can, with one positive, be on your way and outweigh that. But it often takes repetition to build up dozens of positive, proactive imagination, thoughts, ideas, flowing in action, etc. So be patient, my fellow brothers and sisters. Be patient with this. It's your habit. So what I want you to do every day, we're going into that bowl, your subconscious mind, and we're taking out 1 or 2 or 3 bad habits, and we're putting in 1 or 2 or 3. And magic, so to speak, may not happen overnight, but just give it some time. You're improving yourself. All you need to do, my fellow brothers and sisters, I ask you, you've heard me ask you this so many times, can you get just 1% better today? Just 1% better. I see so many heads nodding in the audience. Yes, you know you can get 1% better. Our fellow brothers and sisters, for every 100 thoughts that they have on average across planet Earth, 80 are negative. Can you go in your next 100 thoughts, instead of having 80 negative thoughts, can you just go to 79? Again, I see your heads nodding. You've gotten 1% better. You still have 79 negative thoughts out of 100, but you got 1% better. It's only about moving in a positive direction. Rome wasn't built overnight. Moving in a positive direction. So it's all about your habits, my fellow brothers and sisters. The universe, source, never, ever. You are loved more than you can ever imagine. Source would never do anything to you. Source only does things for you. And Pappy's here to help you to shine universal light on this and explain it to you what is being done for you. This bounty, this buffet, this endless buffet, to have belief in everything external to you, that you have a boundless, endless buffet in front of you. Available tools and resources and brothers and sisters, opportunities all in front of you. And I'm here to teach you how to access it. It's always only you versus you. You are your only problem, my fellow brothers and sisters. Stop pointing that finger outward. Never again. Never again after today, point that finger outward. You've heard of when you point your finger outward, where are most of the fingers on your hand pointing? Pointing back at you. That saying's been around for thousands of years because it's true. Okay, that's why it's been around for thousands of years. All you have is today. Most of our fellow brothers and sisters are not manifesting proactively what they desire into their life. Half of them are looking to the left and are looking at the past and are moaning and groaning and complaining about the past. Do you think your vibration is going to be in the upper half of your body or the lower half of your body? I talked about earlier, if you're looking at the past, you're moaning and groaning and complaining about it. You're right. It's in the lower half of your body. You're in a suffering state. The other half of our fellow brothers and sisters are looking to the other side instead of straight in front of them. I say, always keep your head where your feet are at. Test yourself throughout the day. What are you doing? You're doing something with a loved one, with your partner, children, family, friends, relatives, peers. You're with your favorite family pet, your dog or your cat. You're at work. You're working wherever you're at. You're in a place of worship, wherever you're at, whatever you're doing. Just ask yourself throughout the day. Just take a look. What are the thoughts going through your mind? My fellow brothers and sisters, this oftentimes our brothers and sisters' mind, their thoughts are 1,000 miles away from what they're doing. You're not in the present. Always keep your head where your feet are at. Always keep your mind in the present. So half of our fellow brothers and sisters are looking off to the other side, looking at the future. And they're fearful. They're full of worry. They're full of doubt. I told you earlier in today's podcast how many things you have to be grateful for. Another one that I didn't mention is there is no end to you. This is my suggestion. There's no end to you. What could be greater than that? Most of our fellow brothers and sisters are losing sleep, not understand that when they transition, you are not over. All energy, all life has been created. It's been created by Source ages and eons and epochs ago before our human comprehension of how long ago it was. Energy and life, my fellow brothers and sisters, all has been created, no more is created, nor can any be destroyed. Your life is endless. Your energy is endless. You are endless. This is how you're incarnating into form as Buddha came here just in this dimension, density, and plane over 500 times. You're endless. You have a perfect spirit. You're given free will. This is like bounty on top of bounty on top of bounty. Fear is the number one reason for our fellow brothers and sisters not manifesting what they desire in their life. So stop looking into the future and being fearful. Stop looking into the past, complaining. Put your elbows up against your rib cage, just like two karate chops on each side with your hands like a karate chop. Keep your elbows here and stay right here. Your arms are right about shoulder width. Keep everything right here in this cylinder. Stay in the present. Always speak in the present. Always act in the present. Always think in the present, always reach out in the present. So thank you so much, Mikey. Just so much ancient wisdom contained with just even a few sentences from one quote from the book. So thank you so much for picking that out. Wonderful.
Yeah, it is a great quote. It's a great quote to add to your morning ritual too, because it's just like you wake up in the morning, you read this quote, don't worry about what happened yesterday, don't worry what's going to happen tomorrow. All you have is today, all you have is the present, so just cherish it. So it's just a wonderful quote to start your day with. And I'm glad we, end the podcast with it so that we can all start our day listening to that. So thank you for that. If you're a successful entrepreneur looking to take your business, life, health, wealth, love, and impact to the next level, the Papi Mindset Manifestation Mastermind and or the Papi Manifestation Retreats may be just the answer and experience you've been looking for. This is where positive thoughts, emotions, and actions align with ancient wisdom within a tribe of purpose meets profit entrepreneurs who are dedicated to elevating their mindset, their energy, their resolves, and their fellow brothers and sisters in need. If you're ready to manifest, grow, stretch, and really step into the next newer, higher version of yourself, Pappy's Mastermind and Retreats were created just for you. Thank you, Pappy.
Yes, thank you so much, Mikey. Just in closing today, my wonderful fellow brothers, I want to thank you so much for sharing your wonderful energy with us. Thank you, Mikey. Thank you, Kim. Just another wonderful, wonderful show. Just the vibration, the frequency is just so exhilarating. I want to thank you, my fellow brothers and sisters. Namaste. Namaste, my wonderful fellow brothers, my wonderful fellow sisters. Namaste. The spirit in me greets the spirit in you. Again, I want to thank you and I want to congratulate you. I want to congratulate you, my brothers and sisters, on the greatest day of your life and for spending part of it with us today. I am so thankful, so appreciative, and so grateful for you. We go through trials and tribulations, and oftentimes, Mikey, I hear brothers and sisters say, Pappy, no one loves me. I say, you can't say that with Pappy around. I love you, my fellow brothers and sisters. I love you. I share and I have Christ's love for you. I have the purest love for you. I care about you. I pray for you. I love you. Pappy loves you. I love everyone. I love everything. So I'm sending you pure love and light and truth and goodness. Love over hate, light over darkness, truth over deception, and good over evil for grand awakening, for you to awaken. I'm here to shine universal light on you and awaken the untapped creative power that lives within you for an inner knowing, this inner knowing that's within you, my fellow brothers, is to wake it up for a grand awakening, for a grand remembrance. So I send you my advancing personality, my impression of increase, my positive energy, and my positive vibration, especially my positive vibration, my positive frequency, and my positive energy at this very moment in time. I send it to you, and I want to thank you until we meet again. I am, I am. I am, I am. I am, I am. I am, I am. I am that I am. Thank you so much, brothers and sisters. Namaste until we meet again. That's a wrap for this episode of Manifest Anything You Can Imagine podcast. Keep those dreams big and your mindset unstoppable. Take one step today toward the life you're manifesting, because you can create anything you imagine. If you can think it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. Visit PapiMindsetCoach.com for more resources and follow us at Papi Mindset Coach on social platforms for daily inspiration. If you love this episode, share it with someone ready to transform their life. Until next time, stay focused, stay positive, and keep on manifesting your best life. See you soon.